saying a few words, test the mic.
I had bacon and eggs and toast this morning. It was delicious. Just feeling it today. Just no pressure. Just came out and wanted to play some golf, the game I love. I have had a tough start. A lot of missed cash this year, especially on tour. I've just got some really great friends that just keep reminding me that I know how to play golf. I'm a good golfer. We're on this tour here, so I just told myself to just keep going, keep playing, keep searching for the golf, and it showed up today.
This week I really feel like something clicked, and I'm really controlling the backhand, the angles, the turnovers. That's really been my struggle. I'm not overlooking this event, but I'm looking at it as another week to progress going into the major next week.
My game feels really good at the moment. I've been throwing good, I've been putting really good compared to my standards, and this course suits to my game a lot because I feel like there is a lot of flex shots with sidearms and backhands, and that's usually my strength.
I don't think I really could play this course much better, especially I didn't practice the back nine at all. I played completely blind on the back nine today because I was just feeling so bad all week in my back. So I guess it worked out in my favor today. It was quite the ride.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Antioch, Tennessee for the 2024 Music City Open. We've got round 2 front 9 action here at the 6th stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. I'm Jeremy Koling, joined by Paul Ulibarri, and we have a slightly delayed tee time.
Yeah, this lead card's pushed back quite a bit, and it's going to be tough for them actually to finish the round. If they do get it in, it's going to be close to the dark.
Simon Lizotte, blistering hot start, 12 under, and as he said in the intro, blind on the back nine, coming out with a 12 under course record, 2 shots clear of the field, 2 shots specifically clear of this man right here, Jakub Semerád from the Czech Republic. Always awesome to see him playing well. And we have the king of the generation, Paul McBeth. He is back on lead card. It's been a slow start for the season for him, but he is here to prove that he is still the man. Like he said, he's using this event to get things going into the majors. And to wrap up the seniority card here, we have got Paul Oman. I think Simon's 31, Paul McBeth 33. Paul Oman can play Masters. And Jakub's in his 20s, but this is one of the older league cards we've seen in a long time on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and it's nice to see as an old guy.
Yes, sir. Hole 1, par 3, 308, one that you have to shape a little bit. There's going to be a little tailwind here, so the disc is going to want to be pushing towards this tree line on the left. You're going to need to throw something from left to right that bends just in front of it and slides up into this area. Let's check and see what the chase card's doing. I'm guessing this will be a very overstable disc on Anheuser.
Yeah, and notice that was a driver rim Ricky's going with, only 308 feet, but look at the ground play, the deflection, perfect into bullseye for Ricky. Controlling the ceiling really well, which is the hard thing to do here on hole 1. You can see through the woods.
First to the tee, your defending MCO champion. Give it up for Simon Lizotte.
Even through the woods, you can see the tree line is moving because there is a lot of wind out here on round 2. Now, this is a 4:40 tee time, so quite a bit later in the day.
See how that's kind of pushing straight there? He might get away with it.
But it looks like he's got a similar putt to what he made in round 1.
Typically, you would see that drift a little farther right. But I do, you see these flags, they are kind of pushing towards them.
Jakub Semerád.
And because it's such a short hole, the disc doesn't want to move there yet. Unless you're throwing maybe a mid-range, which it looks like that's what Jakub is going with. This is
It's a great play to try to turn it over more than you think. But it's hard to do with the ceiling being so low.
See how that drifts away from it?
And look at the ground play bouncing over the tiers of rocks into the circle. That's what you're trying to do.
Next on the tee, please welcome Paul McBeth.
Paul McBeth McBeth getting graced by the Jomez practice round. The uptick. It was a curse for a little while, but so far we've had some nice finishes from our guests.
This will scoot up to circle's edge-ish. When you get it turned over a little too much, it's really tough to park the hole unless you get some nice
And
ground.
rounding
play.
out the MPO lead card, make some noise for Paul Oman.
If you know Paul Oman, you like Paul Oman. That's just the way it is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's just a genuinely lovable human being, and it is good to see him playing good disc golf.
Has a very unique throwing style.
yes, he
very
does.
slow and smooth, and this is going to work. Get past that tree. That's inside the circle. That's
Yep.
a good shot.
A lot of players have an interesting setup, but really all I care about is once the disc is out of the hand, what does the flight look like? Paul is a master chef of the nice lines. Oh, I thought he did it again, Paul.
Wow.
Very good effort. McBeth just outside C1, and that just immediately high out of his hand. And Tall Paul, as we lovingly call him, in for the birdie.
Paul Oman gets his putter going. It is a fantastic thing to see. He can make from absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, he's won over $111,000 in career earnings. He's got 55 career wins. He's a great competitor. And Jakub in for the birdie on one. Also, he's been doing some commentary work, and he's actually really gifted behind the microphone. Actually, I believe he has some minor communication experience in college. So,
Oh, nice.
and any experience on the communication degree in college is more than we have total combined.
Yes.
So he's beating us in that one. And we've got Ty Love shooting a scorching round right now. He's 9 under, jumping up into a current first place. And we've got a Patreon winner, and it's Panda Grape. Congratulations for having the coolest winning name of any Patreon win this season. You have won because you are a Patreon member, and we encourage all of our viewers to join Patreon to potentially win our practice round signed discs. Thank you so much.
All right, we saw this hole yesterday. You want to get it low, skip it, or very, very high stall shot. This is low, but a bit inside.
And if they're low and inside, they generally catch one of those limbs down there by that big tree because they kind of hang all the way down to the ground.
Look at this.
Okay.
I played with him last week. He said he's been really working on the sidearm.
And that's a good angle. He's going for the wide gap.
Gets through.
Yeah, fights through it. Just outside C1. He kind of picked the hardest spot to get through. He didn't go for the high line or the low line, and the middle height is where the branches are the widest.
It's funny you say that. He did something similar when I played with him last week. This one fights a little bit, gets a little ground play backwards, and he said, "Yeah, Paul, I'm just kind of throwing it out there."
Sure, just
It's like I'm not aiming it.
Oh, Paul pulls this one on hard left and fortunately gets to the ground before spectators have to play dodge disc.
This needs to slow down.
And that goes a little deep.
That was a lot of action from
No gimme there for the par.
no. Put this one on a little Anheuser, push it to this bush line, let it fan out to the hole. There's a bush line,
Yep.
fanning out.
Yep.
Nicely done.
Good touch. Good angle, good touch. Oh, Simon from back edge of C2. You can see the whisker there.
Dangerous to run this thing. Oh my gosh.
Come on. Simon.
Calm down, young fella.
What's the counter so far at this distance, this tournament? Is this
What?
3 of them?
That's out of bounds if he misses.
Again, that's
at
just,
all.
that goes in like a 3-point shooter, sharpshooter. It just sits in the bucket. It doesn't even need chains to go in. It's just beautiful.
He baits Paul Oman into running this one. He says,
Oh.
no problem. No problem. It goes in the exact same way.
I got me a 195 pounder. That's my guess on how much tall. Yeah, it's a bad joke, but he fished him into it. He got it.
Hooked him.
He hooked him. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to stop because Paul makes his comebacker, and that's a good par save, especially with the extra distance he had on that approach. Jakub with a par.
It's all Paul. 2 birdies in a row, and just like that, he is in 3rd place on the card.
Just a great spot to hit it. 1 inch above the rim. Those are so scary. You miss, they're out of bounds. Look at this.
Hi.
Jeremy Koling, 11 through 14, chasing down that course record. Let's see how he finishes up his round.
I'm right here. Hole 3, par 4, 769 feet. You want to get about 310 to 330 off the tee, setting yourself up for a shot across the OB, which ends here. But then you have these 2 or 3 tiers of rocks that you have to get through and through this gap in the woods up to the basket. It just looks like a hobbit should live somewhere up here in this knoll. It just is such a picturesque green.
Could be living there. Here's Paul going with the mid-range, just wants it to go straight with a little flip, and he does all of those things perfectly. That's going to be about 380 in.
Correct.
Simon's doing the same thing. This looks a little low, though.
And that should be about 400 in. Maybe 390.
Good angle to come in, though, on hyzer.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think he's
skip up into those tiers.
Intentionally playing that left side. And I like the angle over there because you're going to get the hyzer skip.
Jakub
Nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, great shot. Pushes the OB line a little bit deep there. One thing about Jakub is he has all the shots. There is not a shot that guy does not possess in his game, which makes him so lethal. When his putter's good, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
He gives himself a lot of looks, a lot like Jake Hebenheimer did.
Correct.
In our first round. Very similar.
That's a good. Yeah, it's a good analogy for sure. What I like about hole 3 is that in general, the tee shot is so simple that Simon, a little short, getting a big refund back. Wow, big rollout. Is that you essentially are creating a tee shot for yourself on a 400-foot par 3 with the tee shot. You get to choose, do you want to be way right or left or straight? Because no one's really going out of bounds off the tee. So it's just, which angle do you want to attack this green with?
Yeah, and Paul lets that one go a bit early. You could tell right away that he didn't have the timing correct there. He's not going to have a look over there. I'm seeing it over there.
Yeah, it's rough. It is very, very thick rough on the left short side of this green.
Now, I like this because Paul's coming in on the high side, should skip in there, see, and then just kind of nestle up there. He's going to have an obstructed 30-footer.
Yeah, just inside the circle, it appears. Brought the hot pink today. Digging it.
Jakub with that wide route as well.
And that's the ground play that you just expect to get. You could be, you don't expect that part. That's unfair.
It's not noise.
But I mean, if he's 7 inches shorter or 7 inches farther, he's going to get a good skip. It just didn't quite get it right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that is unforced.
Yep. Well, Simon's been doing his work from this distance.
I mean, most likely going to at least hit metal. Yeah, just a little bit off to the right side, but a good effort.
Looked like he had to bend it a little off his comfortable line. Oh, boy.
Yeah, you never like it when the cameras get to you and you're just like looking over bushes. It's not a good sign. Yeah, good. Well done.
Yep.
That honeysuckle is thick on that left side.
Jakub is in a similar spot as Simon was yesterday.
And that,
Simon made it look easy.
yeah, it's certainly not.
Yeah. Paul's got the bigger gap. This could go a long ways in starting his round.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
Tries to use the body English after the release to pull it into the left side. Oh, and a dropped putt from Oman. Some missed opportunities for everyone on the green.
Oh, stay in there.
And that's a tough bogey to take there if you're Jakub. Good tee shot, a good approach shot.
Yeah, unforced, like you said, though.
Yeah, that
It's on him.
The third shot certainly needs to be better, and he knows it. And after 2 good putts to start the round, Paul will go backwards 1 shot with a bogey here on 3. Up to Ricky here on the tee of 4. Just got to hit the gap. That's all you're trying to do here. And the big skip right. Because he's not far, he's just right. He's not going to be able to see the pin, but it doesn't really matter. This is the easiest hole in the course. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Pretty easy.
It just slopes right into the pin, and Ricky's just left with a tap in. Another bullseye for him. And that is 2 birdies in the first 4.
What is the simplest way to improve your disc golf game? The answer, learn from the very best. Paul Ulibarri, Simon Lizotte, Ezra Aderhold, and Holland Hanley. They're not just players, they are your elite coaches guiding you every step of the way. The Power Disc Golf Academy is the premier online disc golf academy with over 150 on-demand lessons that are specifically designed to improve your skills right now. So what are you waiting for? Join today at PowerDGA.com.
Like we said just a moment ago, all you got to do is just get through this gap. The farther up the hill you get, the better angle into at least being able to see the pin. But otherwise, if you hit the gap, you're going to be left somewhere in the 300 to 275 range for most players. From there, it's a backhand turnover or a forehand that just kind of catches the hill. Only out of bounds you really have to worry about is by the green, short right, but that would be a pretty bad throw to find that OB.
Yeah, you really just focused on hitting this gap. That's the tough part of this hole. That and the wind, you know.
I was talking to my group about this, and tell me what you think about this. 5 years ago, this hole plays significantly more difficult with the entire field essentially having a forehand that makes gaps like these feel so simple.
Without a doubt.
It's just amazing how quick the field is able to adopt the forehand and really make it a useful tool.
Yeah, this course would never be on tour. It'd be the hardest course of all time 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, we'd look at the distances and be like, are you serious? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Right. Even tall Paul striping the gap. And that'll be 4 for 4 for our lead group. Now it's up to the approaches. Good chance of a star frame now that they're all in the fairway.
Yeah, just get it wide. Let it skip. That's too wide. That ain't coming back.
And it's going to hit with a lot of spike energy, so it's not going to move much.
Yeah.
So downhill, scary fast putt for Oman coming up.
Yeah, I think you just got the height wrong there. A little lower and then scoots. Even that wide. See how this has the penetrating kind of low?
Yeah, it's just not going to do anything besides dig.
Ooh, go in, baby.
That's a Raptor, not a zone, right?
That is Raptor.
It's got,
Well, it's a captain's Raptor.
oh, specifically the Paul Ulibarri edition.
No, it's a different disc than the Raptor. They're
Oh, okay.
two different molds.
Is it more overstable?
It is.
Okay. Simon leaving that one short. He's going to have to earn the birdie with a good putt. Perhaps a bit presumptuous calling the star frame, but it's still in play, of course.
Yeah, just nobody birdies.
And Jakub playing the ground play.
Very good.
Well done. Simon is actually up first. This one just didn't have a chance, left the whole way. Like all of Simon's putts, the height seemed to be good, though.
Yeah, I think he likes the dangerous ones.
Yeah, of course. Oh, butter.
I'm telling you, this guy can just make putts.
Played with him last Waco, I believe, and he just started the tournament off 8 for 8 first round. It was just like, okay, well, I think Paul's not going to stop birdieing ever. He eventually did, but he's got the goods to be able to get on a roll. As Billy Crump would say, butter on a hot roll. If you're not familiar with Billy Crump, you got to do some research.
Yeah, classic. Shout out to Jacob Curtis, Cupcake, who took a 2 on this.
No kidding.
I think so. Either this one or the next one. I'm not sure.
Well,
I think it was this one.
I don't think it, well, let's see. Am I in round 2? Oh, I'm in round 1
There you
still.
go.
Okay, hole 4. We're pulling it up. And I think it's still the next one.
It is.
Yeah, it's the next one.
Oh,
Okay.
well, okay. My bad.
But shout out to him.
Shout out to him on the next one. It would be a nice 2. Actually, the next one is, I feel like
It's harder.
A nice
and
one.
that's the one that we actually had an eagle throw in round 1.
Okay.
So hole 5's just getting diced up.
Here's what's
eagles.
so funny. He was explaining the shot to me. I'm envisioning 4, and I'm like, how is that even possible? That's a crazy shot.
But now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Hole 5, as we fly over par 4, 625 feet. All you got to do is just do what Cupcake did. Just get it, throw it in the hole.
Yeah, I mean, different shots. You can go sidearm flex shot. A lot of people lay up short to just give yourself a shot in. Paul's going with the sidearm flex. He pulls it. That little nick might have helped. I don't know where this ends up.
Well, that limb certainly won't be in the next player's way.
It looks like Paul's having some grip problems. His first sidearm down the hill, turfed it.
Yeah. Overpulled a couple of times now.
This is very short, but that'll be fine because he still only has around 400 in.
And those fire trucks, I think those are coming for Simon Lizotte's round yesterday.
They're coming for your round today, maybe. Can't wait to check in to see what you shot.
I mean, I could tell you right now if you want. Okay.
No spoilers. Simon gets the lift, but that's going to be perfect.
Yep, that's right in the gap.
Similar to where he was yesterday. I'm curious to see where Paul went. McBeth, that is.
Yes. Oman. I'm curious to see where this goes. It's heading left, and if it caught the brush and dropped down, he's going to be happy. If it skips in, he's going to be unhappy. It's going to be a tall man in a small area.
How tall is Paul Oman?
I mean, we're nearly
Similar.
at the same height, so
Yeah.
I'd say he's 6'5.5" at the shortest.
Yeah, and these
I think I got him
shots,
by.
we're not getting a good view of where they're landing.
Yeah, that appeared to come up short. I don't know if that had enough. It was a little too high to get there. Simon also going for the high spike hyzer.
Here's a nice shot of the green, and he gets through the circle's edge. Another great shot from him. Almost a little higher than yesterday, but...
Okay. Oh, boy. This is a different approach here on 5. This is not how Cupcake played the hole.
Or is it?
Is that a circle 1 look?
Just outside.
Wow. What a creative play. That is just knowing the landscape and figuring out a way to get it done. And that's a good out from
Really
there.
good.
Yeah.
Good touch. It's tough to get a putting putter to pan out flat.
Correct. Especially at that short of a distance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you got twice as much distance, you might have some room. At least he didn't get inside that tree. That's allowed him to be actually
He
get
would
a full
never
throw.
be able to get out if he was literally inside a tree trunk.
He'd just become another stick. This would be a fantastic birdie if he can knock this down. Oh, off right side chains. Paul's missed 3 from that range so far this round.
Very good. I won't say on the stripe, little left, but low and perfect.
Yeah, I mean that goes in on every basket ever made.
That's on the stripe though.
Yeah, and that is a good scramble par for Paul. His first par of the round.
Par Omen.
I know. I was trying not to.
Why didn't you say it? You say it to me every time.
I say it to you because it's condescending, and I can't be condescending to Paul Omen.
Well, no, not when it's a good par.
Yeah, exactly. If you doink a putt for birdie, then you're par Ulibarri.
Yeah.
Or actually par Ulibarri, which is my favorite. 14 under for Simon, leading the way. And that's good for him because he's got a lot of holes that increase that lead.
Yes, he does.
As we fly over the downhill, downwind, par 4, hole 6, 720 feet. Going to see some backhand mid-ranges perhaps off the tee to avoid going OB left. Maybe a forehand to get some distance. And then it is downhill with obstructed green trees on the green on the right side and one deep on the left side. There is OB long of the basket. And it does come into play a little bit on the right side as you get down closer to the hole.
Mid-range, slightly turned, perfectly placed.
It's just nothing to worry about at all. You can hardly even see the OB, even on the right side of your screen. That was so center.
This play is a little more tricky, but he's trying to get more distance so he doesn't have the long shot in. It needs to get to the earth. It does.
I was a little bit nervous about him going with that disc after seeing him pull his drive on 5 and back on 2.
Yeah.
But sticking to the game plan and executing a good drive.
Look at this guy.
Just a pretty flight, man. There's nothing else to say about it. Just getting it down the fairway.
Jakub going to go with the flex sidearm play here. I hope this is overstable.
Chops it. That's got enough flex back.
Very good.
Skips into the middle. And I'd say he needs about one more of those. I think that was about 360 off the tee is what I'm saying. It's cut the hole in half. Like this play here for Paul. Look at that. Into bullseye. Beautiful. Not getting aggressive off the tee pays off when you know your distance is going into the green.
Extra wide. He's going to need that ground play and kind of.
It just had a little bit more of the spike angle to it. Didn't have that gentle skip that Paul had on his. Electing to play the backhand in. Lot to like if it gets around that cluster and the roll to the bullseye.
It's a very good shot. That was with a mid-range too, so he was pretty dang close.
Okay.
Good call.
And McBeth going just a tad deep.
Giving himself a lot of long looks.
Yeah,
like
that
circle's edge-ish.
That's an uneasy putt because it's uphill and upwind. Pure. So soft it didn't even want to fall out of the chains, but just gravity eventually had to do its work. Very
Some
good
people
putt.
say it's still floating.
There it is.
That's a good cut. Look out. Now that he found it,
Uh-oh.
we were saying that yesterday with,
With Heaps.
yep,
Yeah.
once a good player makes a putt, it's hard to lose it.
And that will be a nice little star frame for our lead group here on 6.
How tough was this hole?
Hole 6 is on the easier half of the holes. It's the 5th easiest.
Chris,
But, oh
getting
boy,
up.
that,
Where are we seeing
does that
this?
find out of bounds? No, it's safe, but okay, if we're showing this, something cool is about to happen, folks. Chris is going to go big turnover, and look at that thing gliding, stabilizing itself out through the flight, getting nice ride in circle's edge. That was a fantastic shot to get to circle's edge.
Can he pay it off?
That right there is a working class birdie on 6. Chris Dickerson. That's a turkey of birdies now.
That was like the shot he pulled off on, what was it, 15 yesterday?
The shot on 15 yesterday, if that doesn't go down as one of the top 10 shots of this tournament, then we're going to see some sick highlights over these next few holes.
Cheers to helping new players, to high fives and encouragement, to being a positive light while helping grow the sport. Cheers to you, Ranger Team. Thank you.
6 did play as one of the easier holes, but if that wind switches and is coming uphill, that hole plays significantly more difficult. So with the tailwind, I think it doesn't really give the field too much of an issue. As we're looking over hole 7, once again, do not go down this way. This is not the fairway that you're going to see most players electing to choose. The forehand Anheuser out and around will be used by most of the field.
Looks great. Get the ground play.
It's got
and
the
a little
width.
roll.
It's got the skip. It's
Yeah,
got
it's not really
the
a
birdie.
roll.
The key on this one is just getting it wide early. If you get it wide early with a wide rim, speed, 12 or 13 distance driver, you're going to get that result most of the time as long as you have 375 in the bag.
Ooh, we got one. On the hook.
And it's just pulling right.
I like the effort, though.
Sure. I mean, if you birdie going down the center, you should get an eagle. I think that your birdie is better and it should count as such. That is actually going to be, it's not far from the pin, but it's going to be an awkward save for Jakub. He's going to go low, I think.
I like this play, yeah.
Oh, he's going high. Okay.
High, get over all the stuff. I think that's the safest play. To get a look.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from where you land in that fairway. Sometimes you don't have access to the high line. But Jakub does well there to give himself a par look.
Smooth. Smooth move, buddy.
Puts the brakes on. And the par in. Two under through 7 for Jakub. And Simon will get to 4 under. And that birdie will bring Paul to 3 under on his front 9 effort.
With like 4 missed putts. Round circles.
Yeah,
edge-ish.
again, like you said, watch out. Disc golf is a better world when Paul McBeth is in the chase. It's just, he's got that Tiger Woods aura to him.
Absolutely. We got Gannon Burr here with a very overstable disc, trying to get it out there. He thinks he turns it over a little too much. Circle's edge, let's say.
It just doesn't meet the age requirements to make it onto lead card here for round 2. Just a little too young.
Circle's edge.
Just whipping it in. Isn't that what Nate says about his putt? Just whips it.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. And we'll skip a hole here. Stick with Gannon on 9. Going for the high hyzer play.
I like this play so you just dig.
And there's a
And
left,
you get a little jog out of it.
a left to right crosswind. So that hyzer play is going to get pushed down by the wind. And look at the result. It must have got a nice little roll once it got down to the ground. And a good park job for Gannon. A good front 9.
Well, these guys want to get to 9, but first they have to play the very, very tough hole 8. Which I feel like is one of the harder holes on the course.
Yeah, it's, again, just like yesterday, it's the... Well, actually, hole 2 did play above par, but this one plays 0.16 above par, which is significant.
Okay. Hole 8, par 4, 777 feet. We got a hyzer wide, but don't throw it too far. There is a guardian tree, which Simon is going to go after right now. He wants to just get in front of those signs right there.
He's looking
See
to...
if you catch those ones, you're no good. This looks fantastic.
Yeah, he corrects the mistake from yesterday.
Yeah.
He found himself out of bounds right side and had to come up with a just glorious par save.
You can go up the middle, which is a safer play, but it does bring the left rough into play, and there
Correct.
is some bad spots you can be over there.
Paul, this is
Perfect.
a good spot. If it sits, yeah. You like the approach angle from that side. Paul Oman is a very much, I'm the guy to gun in the middle type of player. And that's why he has the longest drive. Down the middle play allows you to get past that tree with ease as long as you are getting the disc to stand up the whole way. Jakub is eyeing the center gap as well, a little bit lower. Finds the turf, and I think he'll be somewhere in the 440 range to the pin.
He can get there if he wants to. He has the distance.
It's got to be a perfect shot from this range. This is going to be heading left side. Now, if this gets through and deep into the woods, this could be a very tricky par save. Could be a flick roller from in there.
It's an interesting hole because from here, there's no option. You have to go.
Correct.
It's a really tough layup. There's no easy spot to throw it. As Simon gets this early, he's going to need a kick. He doesn't. But
it looks like he's close enough to the edge. He's got to lean out forehand.
All hyzer on this one for Paul. You don't really want to get it flat.
Yeah, that's nice. Skipping a little left. Still going to come up a bit short. I was wondering if anyone would be going the high over the top hyzer play, but the middle gap is just too inviting.
Yeah. I love this.
Oh, just so close. And that gap's going to get tougher every year as those limbs close in. You really do have to push that right side really close to the limbs as you're coming in. Oh, that's going to be outside C1 for Simon. In danger of a bogey, and I don't believe he had any bogeys in round 1.
Now this could get bad. He's got to get the right angle here. Otherwise, there is out of bounds.
Oh, that's going to be flirting. Watch out, spectators.
Yeah, no.
And doesn't hit anyone, but never had a chance to get back in bounds.
And that's one you just kind of kick yourself for. You got to play a bit aggressive to try to save it, but maybe a little too. You want to maybe throw something that's going to flip into the woods and give yourself a look.
Jakub's going to sky this one over the basket, and he'll have that for the double.
This could go a long ways with Simon in trouble.
And just knew it out of his hand.
That
It
needs
was
to sit.
leaking left. You can see how close that OB line is behind the basket. Now Simon for par, 45 feet. What a clutch save. He knows it.
Man,
2 days in a row, he's had
putt
a
from that distance.
Yeah.
Is really nice, kind of.
He's had two very clutch par saves on 8.
Just a beautiful putt into the fat part of the basket. No offense, basket.
You're looking good. Looking slim.
Not Simon. Looking thick.
I've never looked at a basket that way before ever, and I don't think I'll ever be able to change now.
Really? Every basket I feel like I've seen lately looks thick.
You looking good today. Could have gone so many places with that, and I'm so glad that we didn't. Moving on to hole 9, Simon's lead is 3 now over AJ Koling, who has finished with this round at 11 under par.
Wow. That's a good round.
Yeah, nice little 3-putt on 18, no big deal.
Ooh.
Had to go for the course record. Had to go for 13, you know?
Yeah, you could have laid it up and got course record too.
Let's talk about it later. Hole 9, par 3, 375. There is out of bounds, very close behind the basket, and it slopes down, as you can see here with this angle, abruptly to that OB. So you have to put the brakes on.
In your defense, I'm never laying that putt up.
Oh,
ever
no, you got to run it. Simon,
sit.
Putting a lot of hyzer, and it spins out to circle's edge.
Another kind of tricky distance
Kinda
on a
like that
dangerous green.
Ben Callaway type of day where he had so many putts from that 30-foot range.
Paul likes this play, throw it into the hillside, and he's been at that range.
Yep.
This one's looking straight at the OB as well. Nothing giving on hole 9 so far. Let's see if Paul can get the width right. You got to watch out for the tumble.
Yeah, that's all I was concerned about. Now, there was a lot of rain the day before, which made the ground a little bit softer, a little bit nicer for these hyzers coming into the green.
Just have
more of the skip
too
angle
much.
to it.
No, this
Just
is
needs
good.
the
Just
sit.
don't
This
do-
is the
don't
sit.
be
Just
that.
don't do that.
Don't
Think,
be
sit.
that.
Gosh almighty. You just saw it coming. It's just so hard for it to curl up once it starts.
Best shot of the group.
Yeah, it really
ends up
was.
OB. But maybe the wrong play. Maybe it needed the higher shot there. Oh, no.
Not the good looking putt we were looking for Simon. he looks like he just tasted something nasty.
Telling you, this guy can putt.
Yeah, he can. Good front 9 for Paul. 4 under with a bogey. And Paul outside scoops out the right side low. But knowing how prone this green is to skipping, it leads me to believe that if you're going to play the right-hand hyzer, the spike hyzer is the way to attack it. And a nice par putt
Very good.
for Jakub. Up the hill. An elevated wind putt. Always nice to knock down.
Any missed putt on this hole, you're happy that it sits.
Yeah, there's essentially 2 correct plays, I think, going into this green. The high spike hyzer coming in with a lot of angle and then somehow matching the grade of the hill with a flat shot. Other than that, if you come in with a nice, gentle skipping hyzer, just prepare for it to roll out of bounds, as we saw there with Jakub. Simon shooting a 4 under in the front 9. Nicolas Antala is 8 under. He is through 14 holes. So there's good action, as there always is on moving day.
And obviously we see that 11 under par today is the top tier. So these guys have something to shoot for. That is what is possible, which people are going to be getting close to that.
Yeah, we expected double digits, barring a lot of wind. Unfortunately, we woke up this morning and there was a lot of wind. So the double-digit rounds that we were kind of expecting to be doubled from 2 in round 1, we'll see if players are able to get into those numbers with half of the tournament remaining. We got half of round 2 remaining as well. And look at that, the Founders Club board is back on our screen, folks. If you're in green, you've been doing this for a long time, and we appreciate you. If you're in white, you haven't been doing it as long, but you've still been doing it a long time, and we appreciate you. And guess what? We appreciate anyone on this club. We appreciate you all. And we've got 9 more holes here to go on moving day, so why don't you guys come on back and let's watch some more disc golf together.